Okay. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Please get out your National Geographic Explorer and turn to Money on page 10. Now, we read this together in class, but we're going to need a refresher because it's been quite a while since we looked at it. So let's turn to page 10. Mine is starting to fall apart here, but it's show me the money. All of these are different kinds of money in different places. They're all forms of currency. And let's turn the page. Now I need you to read through this really carefully again because it's been a while since we looked at it. The price of doing business here is just kind of the opening, okay? It says, follow along with me. Currency is a system of money used by a country. So currency is any system of money. In the United States, we use dollars and cents. Yet money can be anything. It can be a shell or a coin. Money has worth because people decide it is valuable. But what passes for money has changed a lot. So now they're going to start back at the very beginning of time and go through how money has changed over time and what it is today. Now, when it says that in the United States we use dollars and cents, okay, in Europe, so like in France and Spain, they use what's called the euro, okay. I think that they use a peso in Mexico. So you could even on your Chromebook look up these forms of currency. These are all money in different countries and find out exactly what country they are from. Okay. This next section you need to read through. And it talks about bartering. So way back when, it says before people used money, they traded goods and services. So they would barter. So barter just means to trade. So you can see here that this guy is trading a fish for corn. And on Monday, I did a barter with my brother. My brother owns an auto shop, and my car needed to have some work done on it. And he owns an auto shop, and his auto shop really needed to be cleaned, the waiting room and the restroom. And so while he was working on my car, we did a trade, and I cleaned his waiting room and the restroom, and it was really gross. But I did it because I needed a good trade. We needed a trade. So I got my car worked on, and he got his business cleaned. So it was good for both of us. Now, in order for a trade like that to work, though, the things being traded must have the same value, like it says here. You have to talk beforehand and make sure that both people agree with what you're doing. Oh, I'm not going to spend, for example, I'm not going to spend 3 hours cleaning your room for you if all you have to do is vacuum the stairs for me. That's not a fair trade. So in order for bartering to work, you have to agree. Okay, so this just talks about that before time, well, way back when people would trade goods and services. Goods are items, so things, trading, these are goods. They're trading a corn for a fish. A service is something being done for you. So my brother and I, we traded services. All right. Now the next part here, changing currency, it talks about how people put value on items that are beautiful, interesting, or rare, but how the next thing that was used was shells. The Native Americans got shells from the ocean, and they were beating them and making these beautiful things called wampum, and they were using that as money. They would exchange wampum for money. Okay, so here's an example. So that is what happened next in our timeline. They used shells. Then after we used shells, then we had right here in Worth Its Weight, it talks about how our first coins came to be. Okay, so you want to read through that. Okay, when people started using coins, so at first we had trading, and then we had shells. We were using shells as money, and then our first coins came to be. And it says about 630 BC in the Turkey, and that's a country. Then after coins in our timeline, then we have paper money that happened. And it talks about why we invented paper money is because it was lighter. Coins got really heavy. And it says the Chinese were the first to invent paper money. Now it talks about how we don't really even use money a lot, paper money and coins, so much anymore. We use credit cards. We use checks, but mostly credit cards. Some places now are only using a credit card because money is germy. So right now with COVID-19, I was at Swig. I went through the drive-thru at Swig the other day, and they are only accepting credit cards right now because they're much less germy. Money is passed, paper money and coins are passed from person to person. Oh, it's not very clean. So when we're trying to be sanitary and clean, paper money isn't great to use. So there you go. That talks about how money is used. You still need to read the article again and go through it. And then what you need to do is answer these questions. Now, make sure that if you're not sure of something, you look back in the article. This is not the time to think, oh, I don't know, I'm feeling a little lazy, I really don't want to read the article, I would like to go outside and play, or I want to do video games. No, I need you to focus and do your best work. Look back in the article and get the answers. Down here it says, explain how money makes the exchange of goods easier. Here's your sentence starter. Money makes the exchange of goods easier because. Okay, so take a second right now and hit pause so that you can get that copied down. Make sure that your answer ends with a period. Okay. Then on the back page, it says, write a sentence that summarizes the content of each section. Okay, on this page, it says, write a sentence that summarizes the content of each section. And summarizes means just finds the main idea in a sentence. So if we read through this, the price of doing business. It talks about how currency is a system of money used by a country. Okay, so that would work as your main idea. Or also you can put money can be anything. Okay, because the article is talking about, this is kind of the opener for the article. It's talking about how money can be anything. All right, so that would pretty much be the main idea. I'm okay if you want to put that as your main idea too, but that's kind of what the article is about. So here you would write, currency is a system of money used by a country. Money can be anything. Okay, so hit pause if you need to, so you can get that written down. Is it better to barter? Okay, well, this whole section is all about making trades. Okay, so this right here is a really great summary. Before people used money, they traded goods and services. Okay, that's the main idea of this whole section right there. So again, go ahead and hit pause and you can get that written down. Okay, changing currency. This whole part this section right here is how people used shells for money. So this is a great main idea right here. Many cultures used shells for money. Talks about wampum. All right. And then here it's worth in weight. This talks about the first coins that were ever used. Okay, so you could say this could be your topic sentence right here. The world's first coins were made from lumps of metal called electrum. That would work. You could do precious metals such as gold and silver are hard to find. That makes them valuable. Okay, that would work as well because that goes into why we have coins. So you need some sort of a sentence that talks about coins in this section. Then going over here to paper in your pocket, this is all about paper money. So you need to have some sort of summary, all right, that talks about paper money. People wanted something lighter to carry, so paper money was invented. And then the last section, backed by a promise, and it talks about how now we just mostly use digital money. We use credit cards, that kind of thing. Okay, so here's a good main idea right here. Most money isn't physical money, it's digital money that exists only on computers. All right, I know I'm going fast because I'm trying to get this done in 15 minutes. But next you need to make a timeline, and you need to make a line with these little lines, 5 little lines like I have here. And then you're just going to go in order by what the article says. First, it talks about trading. Then it talks about how shells became money, and then coins. And then here we're going to have paper money. And finally here we're going to have digital money. So money with credit cards. All right. Watch this again if I went too fast. And then you're all done with this paper. I will talk to you later. Bye.